Good evening. Thanks for joining me this Thursday. I'm Helena Krishnamurthy and these are tonight's headlines. Pahang ruler chosen as the new Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Almost 4 million to benefit from new insurance and takaful scheme. And scores dead after rivers overflow in Indonesia. We begin this bulletin this evening with this story. Pahang ruler Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah Sultan Ahmad Shah Al-Mustain Billah has been chosen as the 16th Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Al-Sultan Abdullah's 5-year tenure as Agong will start from January 31st. The Malay rulers arrived at Istana Negara this morning for a special meeting of the Conference of Rulers to elect the new Yang di-Pertuan Agong. The 251st special meeting, held for 1.5 hours, was convened after Sultan Muhammad V stepped down from the throne on January 6th. In a statement, keeper of the ruler's seal, Tan Sri Said Daniel Said Ahmad said, 8 out of the 9 Malay rulers convened for the special meeting, chaired by Sultan of Terengganu, Sultan Mizan Zainal Abidin. The Conference of Rulers then declared the Al-Sultan Abdullah had been elected as the new Yang di-Pertuan Agong for a period of 5 years, while Sultan of Perak, Sultan Nazrin Shah, would retain his position as the Deputy Yang di-Pertuan Agong for the same period. In accordance with paragraph 3, part 1 of the 3rd schedule of the Federal Constitution, Tan Sri Said Daniel stated that the decision of the Conference of Rulers had also been conveyed to the Prime Minister and both Houses of Parliament. The new Yang di-Pertuan Agong and the Deputy Yang di-Pertuan Agong would take their oath of office and sign the instrument of office in a special ceremony on January 31st. Despite being saddled with massive inherited debt, the government will continue to roll out initiatives to help the people, especially those in the low-income group or the B40. This was the assurance given by Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, who launched the National B40 Protection Scheme known as My Salam today. According to the Premier, the My Salam B40 National Protection Scheme will provide insurance and takaful benefits protection free of charge for the B40 group who receive the People's Living Aid, BSHR. The scheme will affect some 3.69 million Malaysians between the ages of 18 and 55 under the group, helping them deal with financial difficulties arising from admission to government hospitals or when struck with one of the 36 critical illnesses. Tun Dr. Mahathir added, the My Salam scheme is a significant move towards formulating a financial development policy that is more inclusive in Malaysia.
Pada tahun 2017, kadar penembusan insurans dan takaful dalam kalangan B40 yang bekerja adalah masih rendah pada kadar 30.3% berbanding dengan kadar 50.4% bagi kesemua rakyat bekerja. Kita berharap My Salam dapat meningkatkan penembusan insurans dan takaful untuk golongan B40 kerana ini amat bermakna dan penting dalam usaha kita meningkat taraf dan kualiti kehidupan kumpulan ini.
Tun Dr. Mahathir also announced My Salam Seed Fund of 2 billion ringgit provided by Great Eastern Insurance and Takaful. Those under the scheme are entitled to free health coverage involving the 36 critical illnesses such as cancer, heart attack and Alzheimer. The recipient of the My Salam scheme will also be entitled to a one-off payment of 8,000 ringgit if identified with one of the critical illnesses. A daily payment of 50 ringgit will also be given to the recipient who undergoes treatment at a government hospital for a maximum of 14 days a year. Coverage under the scheme commences January 1st next year, and the scheme's registration and takaful claims can be made from March 1st. Meanwhile, in order to prevent the high rate of non-communicable diseases, NCD, among the B40 household income group, the Health Ministry will also be introducing a new scheme known as Kim Peduli Kesehatan, or PEKA, which will be announced on January 28th. The PEKA scheme, which is a pioneer project worth 100 million ringgit allocation, will focus on early detection of NCDs and will also be made available to BSHR recipients aged 50 and above.
Salam dan PK B40 ini akan saling melengkapi antara satu sama lain. Kedua-dua skim ini berkongsi prinsip sosial yang sama, iaitu memperluaskan akses kepada perkhidmatan kesihatan yang diperlukan, mengurangkan beban kos sara hidup dan meningkatkan kesejahteraan rakyat.
It is estimated that 73% of total deaths in Malaysia are due to NCDs such as diabetes, half of which are caused by cardiovascular diseases, and with cancer as the third cause of death in public hospitals. The urgency for higher awareness and more effective prevention of NCDs is further reflected in the financial toll, such as on the public healthcare services, which amounts to billions of ringgit annually. Moving on, police raided Goldman Sachs Malaysian law firm Rahmat Lim and Partners this morning, believed to be related to the One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Muhammad Fuzi said the raid was part of the ongoing investigations into the troubled state fund.
Oh, nothing. No, part of the investigation, part of the process of investigation. Cuma saya minta maaf saya tak dapat detail because awak nak inform buat ada detail. Tapi arahan pun telah kita keluarkan. Kalau ada keperluan untuk kesihatan saya rasa tak ada masalah.
Earlier, Bukit Aman Commercial CID Director Datuk Saiful Azli Kamarudin confirmed police raided the law firm at 10 a.m. this morning to search for documents related to the 3 1MDB bonds arranged by Goldman Sachs. Rahmat Lim were the lawyers representing the US investment banking giant during the issuance of the 1MDB bonds in 2012 and 2013, totaling $6.5 billion. Last December, Malaysia filed criminal charges against 3 subsidiaries of Goldman Sachs over the handling of the bonds issued by 1MDB. Goldman Sachs reportedly earned around $600 million in fees from 1MDB for arranging the sale of the bond, a sum that many in investment banking circles say was excessive. Sabah Marine Police seized contraband liquor and cigarettes, as well as fireworks worth 8.3 million ringgit in a raid at a house that was converted into storage at Kampung Bontoy Tamparuli on Wednesday. The seizure is said to be the biggest on record for the Marine Police in the state so far this year. 3 men, including a foreign national between their 20s and 40s, who were in the house were arrested, while a van used by the suspects was also seized. State Police Commissioner Dato' Omar Mama said authorities conducted the raid after 3 days of intelligence and monitoring of the premises since January 21st. 2,746 boxes of liquor, 114,350 boxes of cigarettes and multi-branded fireworks with a total value of 8.3 million ringgit after tax were found in the storage.
Jadi kita sedang menyiasat 3 individu ini untuk mengenal pasti, mendapatkan maklumat rangkaian sindiket ini. Kita juga menyiasat sama ada barang-barang yang kita rampas ini mempunyai dokumen yang sah.
It is believed that the goods were meant to be marketed throughout Sabah for the Chinese New Year. Police are also trying to ascertain how the goods that originated from numerous countries were brought into the state, whether by land, air or sea. The case is being investigated under the Customs Act for storing prohibited goods, which upon conviction can lead to a minimum fine of 100,000 ringgit. As for the case of the seized fireworks, worth 6,235 ringgit, it is being investigated under the Explosives Act. Rapid KL wants stern action to be taken against the man suspected of cable theft at an MRT station yesterday after he intruded onto the tracks and caused a train service delay. The company stressed the alleged theft not only jeopardized the MRT service but also the public's safety.
Kalau attempt pergi ke balai polis, mungkin tak ada apa. So, kita biar dia dapat naik, kan? So, kita tangkap dia bila in the action. Ya? Kalau sebelum tu, kita mencegah memang betul, baguslah mencegah, kan? Tapi tak dapat apalah. Kalau pergi balai polis, biasanya benda tu tak ada kes. No. Jadi sekarang I hope there will be a strong case for us to actually to inform the public of the severity of impact tu. Kalau if you do anything with the asset yang kita ada ni, dia akan impact the service.
He spoke to reporters following the alleged theft incident in which the suspect used a ladder to climb onto the tracks and tried to steal cables in the prohibited area. Khairani also said this is not the first incident and Rapid KL has already strengthened security at several other hotspots to prevent the problem from recurring. Ex-DAP Assemblyman Loh Chi Heng was charged in the Shah Alam Sessions Court with 2 counts of making false claims amounting to 33,380 ringgit 4 years ago. Loh, who was then Telok Dato' Assemblyman, however, pleaded not guilty to both charges before Judge Muhammad Sabri Ismail. The former lawmaker was accused with deceiving his principal by using a location withdrawal approval documents and a working paper on the 2015 Telok Dato' Teachers' Day celebration, which contained false information for the disbursement of 13,380 ringgit. This, despite knowing that the program was not implemented. The 41-year-old also faced a second count of making false claim for the 2015 Telok Dato' Lantern Festival program, which contained false information of the disbursement of 20,000 ringgit. The charges framed under the MACC Act were allegedly committed at the Kuala Lengat District Office on June 8, 2015 and September 23, 2015 respectively. If found guilty, Loh faces imprisonment of up to 20 years and a fine of not less than 5 times the amount of false claims or 10,000 ringgit, whichever is higher. The court allowed bail at 40,000 ringgit and set February 25th for mention. Previously, it was reported that Loh's membership in DAP was terminated in 2016 over accusations that he had misused state funds allocated for his constituency. In Perlis, Datuk Sri Shahidan Kasim was seen at the Kangar Sessions Court today for the prosecution's filing of a physical sexual assault case involving himself. The Arau MP, who appeared to be using a cane, arrived at the court compound at about 8:30 a.m. Deputy Public Prosecutor Muhammad Nordin Ismail submitted the case documents to Datuk Sri Shahidan's lawyers, Talia Rohana Abdul Latif and Zuhair Ahmad Zakuan, before Judge Ainul Shahrin Ahmad. Based on the charge sheet, the politician had allegedly sexually assaulted a girl who was then aged 15 years and 7 months by touching her arm. The act was carried out in a vehicle at the compound of Tuanku Said Putra Stadium in Kangar at about 11:30 p.m. on October 20th last year. The charge under the Sexual Offences Against Children Act provides imprisonment for up to 20 years and whipping if found guilty. The court set February 15 for case management to decide whether the case would go for trial or be dismissed. On November 12, Datuk Sri Shahidan pleaded not guilty to the charge. The media was told again today that the victim's family has no intention to pursue the case. Over in Penang, an Assistant Administrative Officer of University Science Malaysia, USM, is in remand for 4 days beginning today for alleged abuse of power and corruption involving 140,000 ringgit. The remand order was granted by Assistant Registrar Muna Maria Azmi at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. The 42-year-old woman was arrested at about 12 noon on Wednesday at the State Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC office. Initial probe found that the suspect had used her position to propose her own company for supply and services works at the university's Sports and Recreation Centre between 2013 and 2017. The case is investigated under the MACC Act. Police are tracking down the driver of a car responsible for the death of a 60-year-old school janitor in a hit-and-run incident early Wednesday. In the 6:15 a.m. incident, the victim, who worked at SMK USJ 4, died after a car rammed into her while she was crossing the road at Persiaran Tujuan near USJ 5 in Subang Jaya, Selangor. The whereabouts of the driver as well as details of the white car, however, remain unknown. Police have urged anyone with information on the driver of the car to contact the number shown on your screen. The case is being investigated under Section 41, subsection 1A of the Road Transport Act. Coming up, bride receives an unexpected visitor on her wedding day. Details next. Welcome back. Now let's head over to our daily segment Clickbait for what's trending and making rounds in the cyber world today. Everyone who has ever planned a wedding would know well that there is bound to be some sort of hiccup. However, among all of the wedding day stories you've heard, this woman probably has the funniest one yet. On Tuesday, a woman known as Afni shared her story on Twitter as she received a parcel from a post-laju worker during her wedding ceremony. The picture was retweeted over 20,000 times and the video raked in over 63,000 views. Here's the story. According to Afni, she made the online purchase about a week ago and did not expect the delivery to happen the same day as her wedding. It was just around 15 minutes after the peak of the wedding, the akad nikah was over, and Afni's dad said there's a postman who arrived to deliver a parcel. The dad invited the postman inside, and even for the latter, turns out it was an unusual day for him too, as he collects the bride's signature right at the bridal days. They even gave a bunga talo to the postman and took a photo to capture the memorable moment. As always, netizens of Twitter Jaya just know how to come back with the funniest replies, with one commenting the postman's courage to crash a wedding just to do his job, while another asked if the postman was invited for the wedding feast, to which Afni replied that she did. Now updated as of 7 p.m, here are the top trending topics and searches on the internet today. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said he was not aware if the East Coast Rail Link ECRL contract awarded to the China Communication Construction Company Ltd or CCCC has been terminated. He said he had just returned to Malaysia from his series of overseas trips and was not informed on the matter, but assured that the government will look into it.
Dah tamat ke belum? Belum. Saya tak tahu.
Singapore's The Straits Times recently reported that Malaysia was in the process of seeking for a new contractor to lead the ECRL contract after terminating the contract awarded to CCCC. Quoting sources, The Straits Times report said Putrajaya was seeking to reduce the mega rail project's cost by half from the original 81 billion ringgit to about 40 billion ringgit. Malaysia is committed to bring a government and business delegation, including Khazanah Nasional Berhad, to Palestine to explore potential collaborations in Islamic finance, agriculture and renewable energy. International Trade and Industry Minister Datuk Darrell Laking said the Malaysian government views enhancing bilateral trade and investment ties with the State of Palestine as always being a priority. The minister had a sideline meeting with Palestinian Minister of National Economy, Dr. Abir Odeh, and Bank of Palestine Chairman Hashim Shawa on Tuesday during the World Economic Forum 2019 in Davos, Switzerland. The objective was to follow up on the meeting between the Palestinian government with Khazanah. The Malaysian Sovereign Wealth Fund serves as the Palestine Investment Fund's investment arm in the global and regional capital markets. The Ministry of International Trade and Industry added that Palestine expressed deep appreciation for Malaysia's continuous political and economic support. Malaysia's total trade with Palestine for the period of January to November 2018 increased by 32% to reach 13 million ringgit compared with the corresponding period in 2017. Total exports rose to 7.7 million ringgit, while imports expanded to 5.3 million ringgit.